Okay. Ellie, tell me one. Pancake. Very good. And Ellie, what two words make up pancake?
Pan and cake.
Very good. Samantha, what was one that you heard?
Green beans.
No, green beans is not a compound word. But very good thinking. Remember, when we write green beans, they are two separate words. They do not combine into one at all. Because green is the color describing the bean. That is not a compound word. Was there any other compound words that you might have heard in there?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers? That's kind of a touch and go one. Yes, I can see where ham and burger. It might be a compound word, but I think there were some better ones in there. Can we come up with any better ones? What about...
Mashed potatoes.
No, two different words again.
Ellie.
What about breakfast? Would breakfast be a compound word?
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of what I'm going to have for breakfast.
Okay, so we have breakfast. What two words make up breakfast?
Break and fast.
Break and fast, perhaps, Samantha? My dear fifth grader. Let's see if I can come up with any other ones that we might have seen in here that are a little tricky. What about outside?
Oh, yeah.
Outside, that's another good one. So you see, all throughout that book, in the few pages we read, we must have covered about 10 to 15 compound words, which is what leads us into our activity for the day. We are going to do station work today. And I know how everybody loves to work in stations. But what we're going to do is I have created 3 separate stations. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to our desks, and we're going to get a piece of paper, and we're going to get a pencil. And when I come by, I'm going to assign you to a station. And our 3 stations, what you're going to do is you're going to work with your group, and you individually are each going to pull 5 compound words from each station. So at the very end, we will have 15 compound words written down on a piece of paper. Okay? Our first station is going to be what's in this bag. It's called the egg pull. And inside here I have colored Easter eggs, a little out of season, but they're there. So what you're going to do is you're not going to look, and you are going to pull out 2 halves, and you're going to see, does it make a word that we might have heard? I just pulled out bow and plane. Bow, plane? Is that a word? Plain bow? Is that a word? So then you can think, okay, which side do I want to keep? I'm going to keep bow. And I'm going to go back into my bag, and I'm going to draw another half. And on this other half, it says rain. So if we put the rain and the bow together, what word did we just create?
Rainbow.
Exactly. So then you're going to write down on your piece of paper, rainbow. And you'll take your egg back apart, throw it back in the bag, shake it up, and go again. And each one of you needs to do this, and each one of you needs to get 5 words to write down. So in these stations, there's got to be a lot of cooperation, and we're all going to have to listen really well, okay? Our second station is our peanut draw. So here we've got our little elephant, and inside our elephant are peanuts. So you're going to go in here, and I hope Miss Stanford's hand's not too big, which it might be. So I'm going to come through the bottom, but you guys are going to draw from the thing. We're going to pull out half a peanut. This half a peanut says mine. So then we're going to have to look through here, and we're going to have to find our other half a peanut that makes the other half of our word. Okay? So it's pretty much like the egg, just a little different in that you're using an elephant and you're drawing peanuts. But again, you've got to get 5 compound words out of here, and they have to be real words. If you're not sure, ask your friends in your group, and if they're not sure, then just go ahead and raise your hand. I'll be walking around as well. And our final station is going to be through our books. And I have 5 books here. The Turtle and the Moon. If you give a cat a cupcake. We see a compound word in that title. I Like Myself. the foolish tortoise, and ladybug girl and bumblebee boy. This one I think is going to be full of them. So when you get to your book station, you can each just choose one book, or you can get words out of each book and record all 5 of those. Yes, Samantha, you have a question?
I found 2 compound words in all the titles.
Very good. See, so again, you would have never known those had a special name to them until we learned today that they make up of 2 smaller words, okay? So then once we get our 15 words put together, we're all going to go back to our seats quietly, and there's going to be construction paper on your tables. And what we're going to do is we are going to take 5 pieces of construction paper and we're going to fold them in half. And what we are going to make is a scrapbook. Has anybody ever heard of a scrapbook? Okay, what is a scrapbook? Samantha?
It's whenever you put your memories together into a book, or whenever you put different things into a book.
Right, and Ellie, how would you write about the pictures that you put in your book, or what would you do?
You would write about the pictures to tell what the memory was.
Very good. So that's kind of, in theory, what we're going to do. Is our compound words are all going to have their own page. And what we're going to do is we're going to write our word at the top. Like my compound word is eyeglasses. Okay? So I wrote my compound word eyeglasses, and then what I did was I drew a picture of an eye and glasses, because those are 2 things that represent what this is. And so that's what we're going to do with our compound words, is we're going to make a page for each one of our words that we find, and then we're going to illustrate it. And if you find a word like everyday or everywhere that are kind of hard to maybe make a picture from, what you're going to do instead is maybe you'll find something from one of the books that sparks in your memory to remind you that's where you saw that word. Okay? Then at the very end, when we're all done and we have all the inside done and it looks all pretty and ready to go, we are going to do our outside. And our outside is going to be the best part, because you get to make up your very own compound word. It can be silly, it can be funny, and it surely doesn't have to be real. Okay? So I came up with my own compound word, and it is Jelly Belly. So what I did was I drew a little picture here, and it's supposed to be grape jelly, but Miss Stanford's not really an artist. And then I drew over here a picture of a bald guy with a big belly. So that is my Jelly Belly. Okay? So do we have any questions about what we're going to be doing in the next 30, 45 minutes? Samantha?
Is that your husband?
No, that is not my husband, thank you. So if we have any serious questions, I'm going to guess with no. Okay, guys, I'm going to come around. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what station you're going to be at, okay? Thank you for listening.